Well, what's up, guys? Got Dave here, and I just wanted to talk about, I saw a report about debt here in America, and they were talking about how much people owe on houses and cars, all right, and that's in the billions, and how much people owe on credit cards, which that's the second category, which is also in the billions. And then the third category is how much money young Americans owe in college, like student loans for going to college, and that is in the trillions. And that, I was like, no way, you know, like I even double checked the numbers, and as far as I could find, those statistics are correct. And here's the funny part, is that there's like however many billion that's owed for houses and cars nationwide, and then there's almost an equal number owed on credit cards nationwide, and both of those numbers are in the billions. But then the amount owed by students for student loans is in the trillions, and that number is actually equal to how many people owe money on houses and cars and credit cards. All put together, the actual student loan debt is equal to everything else, or greater than everything else. And I just, it was very hard for me to believe that, and so I looked it up, you know, like I Googled a couple of things just to see if that was actually true, and it looks as though it is. So I mean, you could double check me on my numbers if you want, you know, and leave me a comment that I'm wrong or whatever, but as far as I have found, that's correct. And I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, because my brother and my sister, they both went to college, and both of them have PhDs, all right? They're both super smart. Like my brother got a PhD in linguistics, like language studies, and then my sister got a PhD in math. You know, she's like some freaking trigonometry super genius. And they both have jobs. Like my brother teaches linguistics at a college, and my sister works at like some big old company doing like their accounting or something like that, you know, like she runs numbers for them. And both of their degrees were free, 100% free. They both went to college for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years and got PhDs, and it cost them nothing. And I always make the comment to people whose kids are going to college, I always say, I hope you're not paying, you know, because you know, if your kid is smart enough, like if your kid actually belongs in college, you won't have to pay, you know, like that's, and I understand that colleges need paying students, you know, because that's where they get their money from. That's how they are able to offer scholarships and stuff like that, and grants to other students. But honestly, it's like, if you're paying to go to college, dude, you need to get a little bit smarter. Because it's like, you know, like my brother and sister, they did not fit into any specific group that would grant you a grant or a scholarship or anything like that. You know, it was just because they were so smart, and it was just because they had such good grades that colleges want people with like really, really good grades at their schools, because it makes their school look better. So I don't know, I wanted to talk about that, because I know a lot of you guys that watch my channel are younger, and I don't know like what your ages are. I haven't really looked at, you know, like the breakdown on my channel, whatever that's, the analytics. I haven't really like looked at that. I don't study those in hopes to like grow my channel or anything like that. I just put out videos in hopes to help people. But it just, I know you guys are younger, and the age that I am, the age that I graduated out of high school, it was basically, everyone was telling me, you get out of high school, get a job, work your ass off, that's the only way you get anywhere in life, you know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing, and it seems like it's working, you know, like I got a nice place, and I got a bunch of bikes, and I'm living a happy life. I'm all right so far. So it seems like that worked for me, you know, just to get out of high school and just freaking get a job and freaking do it. But the maybe like 4 or 5 years after me, like my younger brother, that was the generation that everyone was like, you graduate high school, you freaking go to college. You know, that's like the next step in your education. It's not like you graduate high school and you get a job. That was not my brother's freaking, that was not his generation. I grew up a little bit differently. You know, nobody was telling me to go to college, or that was something that was necessary, you know, to make my life better or whatever. You know, that wasn't the talk that I was given. So I didn't fall into that. But more than likely, it's like I'm really not all that smart as far as, you know, like straight A student type thing. And if I went to college, more than likely I would have to take out a student loan to do so. And I've watched several different videos about it. I looked up the statistics on it, and it's just not, in my opinion, it's not a good thing. You know, it's like you're just starting life, you know, you haven't even really figured out like what you want to do, and you owe like 30, 40, 50 grand coming out of college. And to me, I really don't think that's a good idea. You know, like when I was freaking like 20 whatever years old, if I owed someone 30, 40, 50 grand, I would be freaking crapping my pants, dude. I'd be like, how am I ever gonna get this paid off? This is ridiculous, you know? Somehow they're giving these kids these student loans for like monster amounts, and I think the only people that are getting ahead are the colleges. That's my fear, and that's kind of like why I wanted to make this video, just to talk to you guys about this. Just because it's like they act like they're helping you, but keep in mind it's like they're a business, you know, and they're just making money like any other business. They're turning a profit like any other business, and I don't know. I hate to think of education like that, but it really is. And that's my fear, is that colleges are getting a bunch of young people into debt. And it's like, dude, you guys are just starting out, you know, like you're just figuring it out, you know. You're at the age that I was when I had like my first job or second job, and you owe like 30, 40 grand. Because of that, that feeling of despair, you know, that a lot of the younger kids have about never being able to pay off their loan. You know, they get out of college and they owe a ton of money and they can't find a job. You know, like all these places, they don't want a degree, they want experience. And you don't have any experience. You've spent your whole life in school. You haven't spent your life working. So you don't even have one job to put on your resume that's in line with the kind of work that you want to do. And there's a lot of students because of that, a lot of young people because of that are defaulting on their loans. You know, they're just like, you know what, I'm not making any money, I can't find work, I'm never going to be able to pay this off, forget it. I'm just going to, like, whatever, ruin my credit for the next 7 years or whatever. And, you know, like, just, I don't see any other option. And it's crazy, man, because I actually do know one kid who's paying off his student loans. He actually did find a job, he's paying off his student loans, and he got a degree as an engineer. All right, and he's working at a place, just like starting out, you know, being an engineer, drawing up blueprints and doing stuff like that, designing parts and designing different things, you know, actually doing what he went to college for, which is very unlikely, which is very unusual nowadays. And his payments for his student loan are like a little over $500 a month for to pay for his student loan. And it's just like, dude, I can't believe that these schools would do that, you know, to these kids. It's just like such a hopeless situation to be so young and to owe that much money. I'm glad I never did, honestly. I'm glad I never owed that much at that age. That's freaking crazy. So I just figured I would talk about that for a few, let you guys know what I think. And now I would like you to go down to that comment section if you're a young person, if you're going to college, and especially if you've taken out a loan to do so. Go down there in that comment section, let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what your plan is. And I will talk to you guys later. You have a great day. Oh yeah, man. Now this is a different bike. Almost looks like a police officer, but I don't think it is. Hey. Those frickin' those Goldwing guys go fast, man. Those bikes must be geared really high.